sad day because your seniors are going to go off sooner than you'd want them to go off into the real world. But a good day for today and focusing on today. I was really happy to see Annie come up with 12 rebounds and really solidify herself as a great rebounder. And as Annie's career transitions and winds down here at Duquesne, we'll be very excited to see where she ends up from a professional perspective after graduation. I thought obviously Chas played well, shot the ball really well. Yutza, very similar to that, also playing very well. You get a lot of contributions from a lot of people, everyone getting a bucket, everyone scoring, everyone playing some minutes. We're obviously, if you've watched us play, we're in the flow, we're in a rhythm, and I feel really good about March.
Coach, it seems like your team's gelling right at the right time. Everybody seems to, like maybe earlier in the year there was a little bit too much me, and now there's more we on this team. It seems like you're gelling at the right time, and they've certainly hit their stride going into March.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We're definitely more we. It didn't show up with the assist. I mean, we had 18 assists. That's a lot of assists, but on 32 baskets, that's actually a little bit low for us. But just the way that the game went, we didn't share the ball quite as much as we normally do. But are we gelling at the right time? Yeah, we are. And we have really good depth. I think that we saw some tonight. I thought we saw a really good performance out of Angela Staffolino. And let's not forget, Laya Soleil had a double-double in the last game that she really played in. And so we feel like we have outstanding depth. We've got real good talent. We're playing well at the right time with a we-first attitude. And hopefully that will bode well over the next 4 games.
I know we sat in here I think it was the first Atlantic 10 game against Davidson, and you were questioning the leadership on this team. And here we are, the last Atlantic 10 regular season, and it seems like your senior class really led the way the last month of the season. How far we've come since that Davidson game?
Well, I think that we can look at it and dissect it in a lot of different ways. The one thing that I've talked to the kids about over the last 2 weeks is that our backs are against the wall. And so if we want to accomplish what the expectation is every year at Duquesne, which is 20 wins in the postseason, that's still within reach, but our backs are against the wall and we have to win. We're trending in that right direction. But we talked we talked a little bit about what our legacy wanted to be as individuals and what we wanted it to be as a team. And this is a class that has won 87 games. These 5 kids have scored over 4,700 points. You're not going to find a whole lot of other classes that will ever do that. That's pretty incredible. And so I know what they want to accomplish in March, and it's the same thing that the underclassmen want to accomplish, and it's the same thing that the coaching staff wants to accomplish. We're on the same page.
As you get into Atlantic 10 conference tournament play, I know you've talked a lot about the minute counts, but how important is that now when you might need to give players a shorter leash just for rest for this stretch run?
Yeah, I played Chas 35 minutes. If it's a regular game and not senior day, her and Yutza don't go above 28. And Kadri probably doesn't go above 26. And certainly Connor Richardson, 20 minutes is about her max. I don't know if Connor Richardson will be able to walk tomorrow. Connor doesn't practice, for people that don't realize that. She doesn't even practice. She plays in games. And so Connor's rest period tomorrow and Monday will be really important for the game on Tuesday. And then that rest period of Wednesday, Thursday will be really important for her as we go into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The one thing about Connor is that if we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, she will find a way. She will find a way to help us and hopefully give us minutes. But we can go pretty deep. Laya Soleil can give us quality minutes scoring with her back to the basket, and so can Angela Staffolino. And so we have really good depth.
Dan, what are some of the biggest things this team has improved on since some of the ups and downs more toward the beginning of the season?
I think their coach has gotten a lot better. Their coaches listen to them, and and to borrow the Hamilton phrase, talk less, smile more, and that's me. We had a big frustration snowball that was getting bigger and bigger because we weren't making shots that we typically make. And if you look at the tape, they are shots that were there. And then when you choose not to guard, it builds that frustration. And so there's been a lot to be made of the big meeting that we had. That big meeting really helped us. And it allowed us to all air our grievances in a very productive, positive manner. And I think once we got all that gunk out of our head, it's really helped us. No, we've lost a few games since then. I mean, the UMass game where we give up 12 offensive rebounds or some kind of crazy number like that in one quarter alone. So we have to play with an edge, and we have to play with our back to the wall and understand that every game now can be your last game as a college basketball player. And I think our seniors clearly understand that.
When was that meeting, did you say?
I don't know, January sometime. You haven't been around, Sarah.
My bad. Sorry,
I don't
missed
blame
it.
you at all. I don't blame you at all. We need to get your editors to get you here more often. That's not your fault. It happened sometime in January where we had, every team goes through a clearing of the air at some point, and I was quoted as saying, and I still will say it, it's the best team meeting of that sort that I've ever been a part of in 20 plus years of Division I basketball.
Assessing seasons as a coach, you've had NCAA tournament seasons, you've had plenty of WNIT seasons, but this season, given the obstacles and the learning experiences you experienced as a coach, where does that maybe placehold rank, whether it's numerically, internally, whatever?
We're not done, so it's hard for me to answer that definitively. But people will think that I'm crazy or sadistic. I've enjoyed this year more than maybe any year, save the NCAA tournament year. And the reason why is because we've had a puzzle, and it's an incomplete puzzle, and I've been trying to figure out how to put the pieces together. And you can start to see how the pieces are going into the right spots. And we still have a couple loose pieces over here that we have to finish the puzzle with. That's the easiest analogy I can give. And the other reason is I really love the players on the team. As much as Yutza can drive me crazy, and she drove me crazy early in the year, I love Yutza to death. And that's a kid I'll miss so much because she has such a distinct, unique personality. And that's just Yutza. We're graduating Kadri, who's the all-time blocks leader. I think she'll be top 10 in scoring. Chas more than likely will end up third all-time in scoring. Yutza's a 1,000-point scorer. If Connor doesn't get hurt, Connor's right there also. And then Annie's career didn't work out the way it wanted it for herself or for us. But Annie has proven that she can rebound the ball and give us quality minutes when the time is needed. That's our seniors. And then to see our other kids, our sophomores, step up, to see Angela Staffolino take on a more prominent role, to see what Libby Bazelak has done this year. I think Libby Bazelak is the most improved player in the Atlantic 10 and deserves that award. And a lot of times that award is given to someone from a scoring perspective, but Libby every night is going to come up with 7 rebounds and 5 assists and 1 or 2 turnovers and have 6 or 7 points, along with the deflections and the great on-ball defense and help defense that she provides. And I haven't even mentioned Hallie Bovell. We're not here today without us inserting Hallie Bovell into the starting lineup and her being the best defender, one of the best defenders I've ever coached. And I've coached, I think it's 6 or 7 defensive players of the year in their respective conferences. And Hallie tonight she played 16 minutes, but you can see she's everywhere. She's a fantastic defender. And so I've loved it. I certainly didn't like the losses and some of the turmoil that we had, but man, I've enjoyed them more than anything. It's been a great puzzle to put together. And I know I don't want it to end anytime soon. I feel fresh, and I think the kids feel fresh. We got done shooting around at noon, and I think saved maybe 1 or 2 players out of a roster of 16. They stayed on the floor and shot and continued to shoot for another 20 to 25 minutes. That typically doesn't happen in March. That's a long answer. Sorry.
Dan, it looks like Hallie's like the perfect player off the bench, because she's instant energy. She's on the floor, she's getting 50-50 balls, loose balls. She's the perfect player to have come off the bench. You know, in case that the starters aren't getting things, the energy level isn't where you want it, she's the perfect player to bring in and bring the energy up, I would think.
Well, we're going to continue to start her. This the senior starting is a one-time thing. We'll go back to our normal starting lineup with the 3 sophomores and Libby, Amanda, and Hallie, Kadri, and Chastity. With that being said, Hallie is a great defender, and some of our guards who aren't as strong as defenders need to thank her every day. Frankly, our whole team needs to thank her every day, because she's such a great help defender that it's really helped us win basketball games. And it's a stat that doesn't show up in this box score. But when you see her help defense and how often she helps defensively, it's amazing. She's done a great job for us. Now, she's energy, but she's energy from starting the game. So now we bring someone like Yutza off the bench, and anytime you can bring that type of firepower off the bench, and then you bring a Paige Cannon in, who's just grit and toughness, and now Angela's really kind of played with rhythm. And then again, the last game that Laya Soleil really played in, she had a double-double. We have depth, and we have an opportunity to play a lot of people, and it's me trying to figure out, again, the puzzle of what's going to help us win that next game on Tuesday. And then we'll have to worry about the puzzle of what is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday then. But we'll have to figure out Tuesday first. That's it. I thank you all for coming and supporting women's basketball. Thank you.